are finally live. Live with the third episode of the Catenaccio Podcast from Matchday 14, boys. Before we can obviously start with this incredible episode that is coming up to us, I've got to say a couple things. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to introduce the panel. So, first guy I'm going to introduce is a guy who, for some reason, I'm going to be on the top here, yeah. The first guy I'm going to introduce is my good friend Luca. Luca, say hi.
Hey guys, happy to have everyone back, hopefully, for our third episode. I was missing last week, but I'm here now, and hopefully we have a good episode.
And then the next guy I'm going to introduce is directly from Mexico. He's literally there right now. He's having some Wi-Fi problems today, but he is here right now with us. It is Emiliano Colangelo.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, of course. Luca had problems last week. This time it's my turn. Hope it doesn't lag too much. Hope you have a good time.
Nice. And then I am your host for today. I am Ale Arda Oriani, and I'm here to host the show. So, before we start again, we got to thank Radio Rossonera for giving us the opportunity to be on this channel and to use our platform to create our content. Thank you very much. I've got to thank them personally as well. I don't know if these guys heard it a million times from me, but I have just been to the stadium. I am one of those lucky people who gets to go to the stadium. I went as a journalist. I don't know how they let me in. And first of all, I'm still freezing. I've completely lost all feeling in my hands. It was so incredibly cold, the amount of layers I had on. But I've got to tell you guys, the experience of being in a stadium behind closed doors is just incredible. You hear everything. It's like watching like a really, really, really high quality friendly game, like at the park. But everything you hear, there's certain things you don't expect. It's like seeing the people you usually see on TV, but literally hearing what they say in front of you. You feel like you're in there, man. That you could literally just go, "Hey, you, go F yourself," and the guy could just go, "Hey, what's up, man?" Apparently, Mirante once have some guy at the stadium was like, "Nah, there was not a penalty," and Mirante literally pointed him out, and went, "Nah, bro, there was." Incredible. All right, let's move on. Looking at the results of the day. So obviously I just came back from a stadium, and I think one of the biggest results we see is the fact that we won in the last second. I will not tell you the reaction me and my good friend Emanuele, who was at the stadium with me, had. I was about to jump down. But let's go in order with the results. Crotone beating Parma 2-1. I think it was a good game. Crotone, I think, finally showing that it can really fight for its spot with not just good performances, but with good results as well. And then an absolute shocker of a game for a certain team that plays in black and white. Juventus losing 3-0 at home to Fiorentina. What a game. We'll talk about that in a minute, but what an incredible game to watch. And I'm just going to say, I think all three of us are quite happy about that. And Hellas Verona Inter, I think good old Emiliano is going to talk about that more in a second. I saw the last few minutes because at the stadium we had a little screen and I could see it. But yeah, Inter Milan right up there with AC Milan. And then Bologna Atalanta, I think Atalanta was winning 2-0 with a brace by Muriel and got, let's say, there wasn't really a comeback, but apparently I think Bologna really was nearly fighting for a goal at the end there for 3-2. And I wasn't expecting.
Tomiyasu and Palacio scored, I think, both after the 75th minute or something. So.
And then the big game, Milan-Lazio, which I just witnessed and I am still shaking from. Napoli, who had to, draw and equalize in the last second to Torino, the same Torino that, has as a manager Gianpaolo, that Torino, the really crappy one. Roma winning 3-2 against Cagliari, but with a bit of a scare because Cagliari looked like they could be back in the game. Spezia losing, or I should say Genoa winning the Liguria derby. That was a bit of a shock for me. It was a comeback by Genoa. Sassuolo thumping Sampdoria 2-3 with also a red card for goal scorer Keita. And then Udinese getting wham bam thank you ma'am from Benevento. And now let's move on and see what the table is looking like. Amy, do you want to present the table for us?
Yes, of course. I think the top didn't change much, but it could have changed if it weren't for maybe 2-3 minutes at the end. So both Milan teams, I'm speaking the truth. Both Milan teams.
No, of course, you're speaking the truth.
I think good for the league because it seems that both teams are back now. Then Roma actually getting up one position from the whole Juve-Napoli scandal that we might talk about a bit later. Sassuolo getting 2 positions. Napoli staying where they are with the extra point that they gave to the whole chaos again of Napoli Juve. The biggest losers this week was Juve, who lost actually 6 points in one day, so not the best of weekends for them
Lol.
or game matches. Atalanta scraping the draw there, so they stay in their position. Lazio losing, which I predicted, but also very surprising how it went. Hellas losing again, so they stay in their position. Then again, Benevento, very surprising how they gained 2 positions just like that. This team is so surprising this year, let's say. Samp dropping 1 position, but they're still there where they should be, more or less. Udinese was very surprising. Terrible loss for them. They only lost 1 position, but they're not looking so, especially with Genoa when they're there more or less. Bologna getting with the draw, they gain 1 position. Fiore gaining 2, with only the 3rd win in the whole season. Then Cagliari dropping 2 positions. Parma dropping 1. Spal staying where they were, even though they lost.
Bro, that's
then
every time.
the bottom 3, the relegation zone actually changed a bit. So Toro dropped 2 positions, and then both Genoa and Crotone gained 1. So I don't know how it's going to be.
I'd like to say that Torino, while on paper it couldn't have gotten worse with them dropping down to 20th, I'd say it's very, it kind of paints the wrong picture because it's an incredible result for them, but in the end of the day actually brings them down to last place.
Yeah.
So
I
wouldn't look at it too literally. Really surprised about Genoa, though. I have to say, how they got they're only the 2nd win, and it was very important for them, of course. I expected Spal to win this game.
Spezia fans are gonna actually hate him. Yeah, I think.
This is gonna be a recurring theme, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Interesting. Yeah, as you mentioned before, I think the most interesting teams to watch out for are, for example, Benevento. Benevento being there in 10th is I think incredible for them this year, because obviously they're just aiming to not get relegated. But if they were to end up there, if they were to fight for those places, sorry for the mouse drop, if they were to end up in those places, I think it could be incredible, and I think they have the team to do it. I think Gleek is being really solid at the back. I think Caprari is finally showing that he is he's a worthy player, and it's just a team that clicks well. I honestly didn't believe Inzaghi would do well in Serie A, because I remember him from Milan and a bit in Bologna, and I think he just didn't have what it took to be in Serie A. But clearly, we're only at Matchday 14, but he's clearly showing some interesting stuff. Fiorentina,
by the way,
what's up?
For Benevento, what's the usual point total that's kind of the safety level? Usually the goal for teams who just got promoted is around 30 points, right?
Yeah, I think it goes around. I think
it kind of guarantees safety.
40 is basically the safety one. 40.
Well, I mean, the fact that they're already at 18, that's really impressive.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with them. I think they got some interesting players there as well. And then obviously, guys, we got to talk about them. AC and Inter up there. AC, I think, is doing some incredible stuff, and we're gonna go.
Please don't call them AC.
I agree.
Milan is at the top there, and I think it's quite incredible. We're going to talk more about the game itself, but I think these boys are achieving. I think Luca will agree with me. There used to be a thing in the last 10 years as a Milan fan where you'd watch the games and you're like, oh, Milan is playing. What's going to happen? I'm going to dread this. Now I can't wait for the games to happen. I think this break between the next game is going to be so long. I can't wait for the Serie A to be back. Also because I'm football addicted, but I really can't wait. What do you think, Luca?
Well, I agree with your opinion. I've still always been excited to watch Milan, even though I knew it was going to end in depression, let's say. But definitely being able to actually watch us win consistently is a completely different feeling, which I haven't experienced in more or less 10 years. In general, even though, of course, I don't want Inter to win the title, I can say that I am happy that it's us competing with them rather than Juve being up there as usual. it does scare me a bit as well, because if we fail to stop Inter, I hope someone else is there to stop Inter instead of them just winning the title.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't want them to get the 19th before we do. That's for sure.
So do you think we could actually be? I'm not going to say winning because that's going to bring a lot of bad luck. But do you think we could actually be up there for a long time this season,
Yes.
like be fighting for those top spots?
Yeah, I think I need to kind of change my opinion on it. It's not a fluke anymore. Over the calendar year, I think we have 79 points, something like that, considering also last season. So honestly, like, it's not us just winning a couple lucky games anymore. At the same time, I don't believe in the Scudetto. When I look at a team like Inter, even today, I was watching the LS Inter game, and the squad is just way too experienced compared to ours. If you take away Ibra and Kier, we have a squad of unproven players, while in Inter, you have a squad full of proven players in Champions League who have won titles. And also today, once again, I saw the truly devastating strike partnership, Lukaku-Lautaro. Honestly, they're really incredible.
Yeah, a proven team that couldn't get out of a Champions League group. Am I right, Amy? Do you want to give us something about? Do you want to give us a little comment from your point of view about Inter in general? How do you think you guys have been doing till now, and how do you see yourselves going forward? And you know what? I'll ask an even for one more question. What would you like from Santa Claus for Inter?
First, quickly about that second to last point you made. We didn't make it out of the group. You didn't make it into the group. So a bit of respect there.
Amy is so close to getting kicked.
For your second question, I think desperately a left wing back, like desperately. Young isn't cutting it anymore. He was good last year, but he just isn't title material, let's say. Then probably another center back to get more stability at the back, even though Skriniar has been playing really, really well. And Bastoni already today had a really good performance, so maybe someone there too, not too expensive or anything. Then I hope we don't get rid of Eriksen, but I think Marotta already confirmed it today.
I think it's done now.
Do you have any names in mind? Do you have any realistic names you really love?
I'll give you an unrealistic name. Imagine Theo Hernandez and Hakimi playing together.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is so good. Look at this comment by the Porridge 10. Messi.
We take 100 goals, though. If both our left wing backs push that much, we'd take so many goals.
Yeah, fair enough. But still.
Yeah, but you would win 8-0. Hello, Lanny Rose. Welcome back.
Nah, you'd win 8-7. Mate,
I think our biggest problem isn't going forward. I think we're already the best attack in the league. So we don't struggle to score. I think it's just avoiding those dumb goals. Like today as well, we conceded a very dumb goal. Sorry, am I back?
Yeah,
okay. I just wanted to say, we keep on taking very dumb goals, like against Spezia. I almost said Spal again. Against Spezia, we conceded a very dumb goal in the last minute. This week, we conceded a very dumb goal. Like, we just need to just finish the game. Like, not think the game's already over. I don't know how to say it.
By the way, if anyone is interested in the best attacks in the league, Inter has 34 goals, Milan has 32, and then Roma has 31.
Yeah, Roma as well, guys. I think we need to put a little word out for Roma. I think think about it this way: if Roma didn't lose that game against Hellas Verona for that stupid registration problem, right now they'd be at -3-4 from the top. They're up there. I personally never expected them to be there. I think it is class. I think their attack is class, but I thought, you know what, with that age, as soon as someone gets injured, they're going to have problems. But listen, that defense as well, I thought it looked shaky, but hey, look at the results. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Roma, they've really surprised me. I think at the start of the season, I was doubting them. I think we've lost Amy as well in the meantime.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll continue by saying that I didn't believe in Fonseca's new system. But having Dzeko with two players like Mkhitaryan, Pedro, or even Pellegrini who can slot in there behind him, feeding him, is really incredible. They create so many chances. Yeah. Then you have Gonzalo on the left, who I really like, Karsdorp on the right, who I don't particularly love. But then also you have two incredible center mids, Veretout and Pellegrini, or Villar. And I mean, this year, what does he have? 7 goals already? Really incredible player.
Yeah. I think Roma are showing as well. I thought Roma with a new ownership and everything, I was kind of disappointed that maybe they didn't do a big transfer, campaign.
Yeah.
I thought maybe to really show that they meant business, they would have bought someone. And it looked like Fonseca was a bit on the edge of getting nearly sacked. But you know what? Maybe they don't need it. Maybe it's just a system that works. We'll have to see, because as we said before, Roma against the big games, against the big teams, has struggled. We said it last time. They conceded about 11 against in their last 3 big games. We'll just have to see.
You know what's one major thing though? Now, when Zaniolo comes back as well, you're gonna have Zaniolo and Mkhitaryan probably behind the strikers.
Yeah.
Or even at that point, I don't know if Fonseca would considering switching into a 4-2-3-1. So then he can play Zaniolo behind the striker, Mkhitaryan on the left, and Pedro on the right, something like that. Because I really love Zaniolo. I don't know about you guys, but I think he's a real deal.
I think he's a good player. I've never seen that much potential as everyone's talking about. But you know what? If he is what he is meant to be, I am more than happy to wait for him, and especially for the Italian national team. Now let's move on to, I think, there's not much we can say.
Yeah, Arde, if you'd like to pop up Louise's comment, time
I think it's for Amy. I think it was for Inter and Amy.
Exactly. If Amy wants to kind of give his opinion on this.
I think it was the Cagliari game where Cragno basically became a god that game. I think it would be ideal to get him, to be honest. We could maybe put a swap deal with Nainggolan plus money, of course. Because I think Andanovic, he saved us against Napoli, to be fair, but he does make those tiny mistakes that end up costing you points. Thank God we scored today in the end, but I could have seen us not getting the 3 points from that. So it might be time to maybe slowly rotate the keeper.
Well, moving on to the other teams, I think I'd like to have a small discussion about. Actually, the first one we really have to talk about is Juve, guys. What the hell is happening at Juve? What? I'm all over the moon, by the way, because they got detracted the 3 points against Napoli, which now they're gonna really have to fight with their nails and teeth to get back, because Napoli is not an easy prey, and I think honestly Napoli could smash this Juve team. And
are we going to discuss the result of the game, or just Juve?
No, we're just talking about them in general. We'll discuss the game in a minute, but I think Juve, for me, are really disappointing. And you know what I really don't like? I think it's not talked about enough. I think Amy will agree with me. I don't know if Luca, you notice this as well, that if Inter do a slight fuck up, excuse my language, but if they do a slight slip up, they will be criticized by so many, parts of the media. Social media will be absolutely upon them. Juve are being quite protected by the at least Italian media as a whole. Do you guys, apart from like maybe memes, that's just normal, but as a whole, I think them being in 6th place right now, I think should be seen as total failure. I think alarm bells should be ringing in the Juve house. What do you guys think?
Amy, would you like to go first?
I just wanted to say, firstly, about the season, I think this has been Juve the last 3 years or 2 years, where they play average football, but then they have Ronaldo, who's insane, and he just solves the games. Last year they had Dybala as well. This year they don't have him. So they count a lot on individual performances. And then talking about the media, I think it's normal to protect, realistically, Italy's biggest team. So it makes sense for the media to protect them.
Yeah, what I think, the media definitely does protect Juve. I think it's always...
Per disegnare il futuro, devi essere pronto a cambiare prospettive. Se sei disposto a rompere gli schemi, nessuna meta è irraggiungibile. Nuova Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, all to better. Acquistala anche online con Hyundai Click to Buy.
Been like that. I don't know if Agnelli kind of pays off Corriere della Sera. No, okay, I'm not gonna go into conspiracy.
Thank you, Luca, for getting us banned. Everyone say bye to the Catenaccio Podcast. We're getting shut down.
I apologize to the Agnelli family and Fiat Corporation.
You were saying, my boy.
No, I was saying that I said it from the start of the year. Pirlo is a manager who hasn't managed a five-a-side team. When we think about legends who have come into the game to manage and then have turned out to be a success, we usually think of Zidane. But then when you think about it, Zidane can be compared to Pirlo. Zidane spent 2 years, I think, in the Castilla team and 1 year under Ancelotti learning. If you think that Pirlo, by the time he was hired for Juve, he didn't even have his coaching license. I think you had to see it coming that they were going to struggle, right?
Yeah.
And I also said at the beginning of the year, if Juve wins the title, even though it's their 10th title in a row and they have Cristiano Ronaldo and all those other incredible players, it's a major success because it's coming from a manager who has as much experience as I do. Maybe I've played a couple less games.
Yeah, he's won a couple of Champions Leagues as well.
Maybe, okay, well, yeah, if we talk about the playing career, then maybe...
Look at this comment by Lanny Rose, Lucas spilling with tea.
No, exactly. Maybe if we look at Pirlo's player career, it's a bit more successful than mine. But manager career a couple months ago, we were at the same level. So, I mean...
Also, do you agree with this comment by Vaporage number 10? Too many players, not enough organization.
Definitely.
You mean for you,
Yeah, I think they're talking about you.
Lots of quality players, but you never know where they're going to be played, right? You have players like Kulusevski, Chiesa, who last year were two of the most promising wingers in the whole league, and now you don't even know if they're getting minutes game in week in week out. Same as Dybala, last year's MVP, and he doesn't even get game time.
Yeah, that is
the prettiest thing to me.
I still think.
I think he had an 8-game stretch last year where he scored every goal in the one score games. Like he won them almost every single game in an eight game stretch. Crazy not to play in. That's just my idea. Maybe it's similar to the Eriksen situation, but I can't understand why he wouldn't play.
I think also Dybala, you guys got to remember, has had a very heavy case of COVID for a long time, and we've heard, especially in the Premier League, that two players from Newcastle, I think it was Saint Maximin and another guy, and Lascelles, I want to say, I don't want to be wrong, have been having the new COVID strain, and apparently it's been really taking a toll on them. So, you know, we don't know. We don't know. Right, let's move on to a few more teams, and then I really want to get into the results in the nitty-gritty. I think the next two we should look at are, realistically, Atalanta and Lazio. What do you guys think? If I could say something, Atalanta, I don't think I really have an opinion of them, because one day I look at them and I'm like, yo, these guys mean business. These guys could be up there. These guys, this is the year they could actually win the league and do something. But then some games I look at them, I'm like against Spezia, like today against Bologna, I'm like, excuse me, where's the real Atalanta? I don't know if it's them actually not being able to get the results, or if it's the inside problems that are really getting onto the pitch now. What do you guys think?
Well, personally, I'm a bit confused by Atalanta. I saw they were up 2-0 today. I wasn't watching the game because I was focused on Milan. But I said 2-0, easy win for them. And then I checked the score at the end and they tied 2-2. I don't know what's happening, if the team is a bit kind of shook because of the whole Papu situation with Gasperini. But yeah, they definitely need to find consistency. Even the Porridge 10 is saying the same thing in the chat. They are too inconsistent.
What about you, Amy? What do you think about Atalanta? Because I remember last week you had very good words of praise for them.
I think I said last week as well. They always start very slowly. I said last week they had 1 point less compared to last year at this point, with one less game. So I think it's a bit still to say they're done or anything. But yeah, definitely the Papu situation's getting to them, I think you can see it even when they play sometimes. Of course, last week they had a great performance, but I don't know, maybe it's burning from the inside, maybe.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, also, we need to look at the facts. We're used to really reading into situations, but if you take a step back, they got through their group in Champions League, and they're 7th in the table. And 7th from the table, 4 points behind from Champions League spot. So I don't think it's really that bad.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's move on. What's up?
Last few years, I think they spoiled us because of how well they played. Like comparing them to them from a few years back is a bit hard, because they scored 6-7 goals every game, which I don't think is something you can keep up for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
Do you think that we gotten used to that sheer dominance on the pitch, that seeing them not doing that for us is like, oh, what's going on, when, to be fair, they might have just been overachieving? All right,
I think it's just really how much praise they were getting.
Let's move on to the next team, because this next team is... No, don't worry about it. Interrupt me whenever you want. Jump into a conversation. You too, Luca. If you feel like you want to say something, go for it. You too, chat, by the way. But obviously, I'll have to put you on the spot.
Oh, yeah. And also, wait, the Porge says with one game in hand. Do they actually have a... Oh, yeah, against Udinese.
Yeah. So, let's say...
I mean, in reality, even if they win that game, they're 1 point behind from Sassuolo. So
yeah. So, yeah, maybe we've been too hard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next team, which could then open up the convo for the next topic, which is the actual games. Lazio. What is going on with Lazio? I have one opinion, and I want you guys actually, I have an opinion. I want to see what you guys think. If Lazio had the injuries AC Milan had recently, they would be in 15th place. So imagine if Acerbi, Milinkovic-Savic, Luis Alberto, and Immobile were out, I think Lazio wouldn't make it over 15th place right now. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I think 15th place might be a bit of an exaggeration. But yeah, definitely. It's a team that really relies on their core players like Luis Alberto, like Milinkovic, like Immobile, and Acerbi. We saw it last year. I mean, they pretty much run on those players plus some help from the other lads. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that drastic and say they will be down in 15th place.
Okay.
I don't know what Amy thinks.
Amy, what do you think? Do you think Lazio is...
I disagree.
Lazio's ready?
I disagree.
Really?
I think, yes, they do count on their big players, but if you look at their squad, it's just like there's so many average players, in my opinion. Like, they still make it work, more or less. I think they're not a team built to beat big teams. Like, they stay back, they counter. They don't have the quality to take on like an Inter face-to-face, a Milan face-to-face, a Juve face-to-face. It's just difficult for them, I think. Yeah, also Luis, how he's saying the defense is just ridiculous how they do. Acerbi is carrying that team at the back.
Yeah, by the way, also what he's saying about terrible substitutes, I guess this is kind of a comment on the game today, but the fact that Inzaghi at the 75th minute took out Milinkovic and Immobile. I saw that, and honestly, I had no idea what his thought process was, because they created a second goal on their own, which, by the way, was a really beautiful goal. Milinkovic plays in a wonderful pass, and Immobile, great finish. Gigi almost got there, by the way. He got his hand on it.
If he got that, would have been incredible.
Yeah, that would have been save of the year. But, I mean, great finish by Immobile. And then 15 minutes later, Inzaghi takes them out for Andreas Pereira and who was the other guy? Akbak, which I know is a fan favorite of the Porridge 10, but let's be honest, he's not on Milinkovic's level. Not even close.
Not even close. The dominance that Milinkovic had today was incredible.
I think that was the biggest problem. I think you can live without Immobile on the pitch, but Milinkovic just gives you so much. Even when you're in a difficult situation, you can just boot it up to him and he'll control it with his chest and bring it up. Like, that's something you lose instantly when you leave the pitch.
Yeah.
Well,
and also
you guys... Sorry.
No, just wanted to say that this game they could use that, because usually when they play against us and there's Kessie on the pitch, Milinkovic doesn't see the ball.
Yeah, true.
I think he's his kryptonite.
Well, you guys took the words out of my mouth. We were going to talk about the big games of the weekend, which are Juve against Fiorentina, Verona against Inter, which the score is wrong, by the way, because it ended in 4-1, and Milan against Lazio.
Wait, what? I changed that. What the hell?
Incredible. Okay, first one we're going to talk about, Milan-Lazio. Come on. Okay, I'll start off because I was actually there. The game was... This is, I think, how I saw it. Milan started off incredibly well. I think the pressure and the determination Milan had in the first, I'd say, 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes was incredible. And then that's why the goal came from that Rebic header. Then, again, for the first 25 minutes, the penalty as well. If it wasn't a penalty, I think in that same action, in that same move, we could have scored at some point. And then something happened. After the second goal, I think we really took our foot off the gas, and Lazio really started playing. Lazio started dominating quite well in the game, and I think if there's one player that really deserves some praise, and I think a player which I don't think people talk about enough is Luis Alberto. Luis Alberto has a mastery of a midfield. It's just a certain class he has. Maybe he doesn't have that incredible pace. He doesn't have that strength, but his feet are he's just got a certain class about him where he just can just swivel through all midfields. Again, we say there's no Kessie, but I think more than Milinkovic, who was physically dominant today. He was incredibly physically dominant because Leao didn't get one header in today in the first half. Krunic as well. He wasn't that good in the middle, at least in the first half, by the way. And in general, I think Milinkovic was really dominant in that midfield. But again, Luis Alberto finding the spaces everywhere. Yeah. And then I think the penalty for Lazio was very, 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 very light. I think I wouldn't have. Obviously, I'm biased, but I don't think it was fair. And obviously, okay, that's never a penalty. Thank you, Amy, for giving us an unbiased opinion. Yeah, I think it was never a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If you had to call, I think on corners you can't call people stepping on each other, people pushing each other about a bit, because otherwise you'll be calling a penalty every corner kick.
Because sometimes we see in corners, some people literally tackle.
No, I mean, I don't mean it literally. Like, of course, you have to draw the line somewhere, but if you really look at every corner kick during a game, they're always pushing each other around, stepping on each other. So,
I think exactly for that reason.
Corners. Sorry.
I think exactly for that reason they should call them more.
Okay, they should call them more, but then if they haven't called them all year and then they call it for the first time in a random game at the 14th game week, doesn't really make sense.
I don't think that Correa penalty was a penalty. Like, even if they started calling the corner penalties before, I don't think that's a penalty.
Okay.
Like that's never a penalty in my opinion. But I think they should call them more, because sometimes you see, I don't know, Romagnoli push someone or Skriniar push someone. I think it's just too unfair for the attack.
I think, and then moving on about a little commentary about the game. The penalty was a very good penalty from Immobile, but an even greater save from Donnarumma, who was he was a bit limping. He wasn't in the greatest form, because there was a point where Tataruzano was getting warmed up, and he was very likely, and everyone in the stadium was 20 of us. Everyone in the stadium thought that Tataruzano would have come on, but incredible penalty save that goes off a post, and very unluckily Luis Alberto is in the air and hits it. And again, I think Donnarumma, knowing him, there could have been a chance that he saved it again. It didn't happen.
He didn't have time to get up.
Yeah, second half, it started a bit like the end of the first one. Milan were really not on it, and then we missed quite a few chances. I think there was one with Salamakera at the edge of a box, and he stumbled upon the ball once where Çalhanoğlu was going forward, and he had the opportunity to get the ball rolling to Rebic on the left, and he didn't, and he went right, and he just got all fumbled up. And after the Immobile goal, I'm not gonna lie, the mood in the stadium was that of crap. We're either drawing this or we might actually lose this. Then,
I felt like that as well, honestly.
This player that I think is incredible. I think, as Pierangelo says in Radio Rossonera, how lucky are France that are choosing up to 3 left backs instead of him. But Theo Hernandez, for me right now, is the best left back in the world, and has finally really, really, really dominantly come out of the shadow of his brother.
Well, I think if we talk about form,
general.
If we talk about form, then I think he's the best fullback in the world. I don't see anyone above him at the moment.
In terms of form, I agree, but overall, I don't think he's there.
No, of course, not overall, but in terms of form. But then, I honestly don't understand Deschamps for France. Who does he call up? He gets
Mendy and
his brother.
Mendy, who I understand. Mendy is an incredible player. Digne, he's a solid left back. I don't watch much of Everton, I've got to be honest. So I don't know him too much. And Lucas Hernandez, who offers kind of a different play style, because he can also be played as a center back, and I don't think he's as offensively dangerous as Theo.
But the reality is you guys know why Theo is not called up to a French team, by the way. It's not because of his in-game antics, it's his out-game antics. I think his reputation of partying, especially with dwarves and other stuff when he was in Madrid, did create this ban nearly on him on the national team. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway,
but I mean, it's not like he's Balotelli, right? Like, I honestly don't understand the critique. Also, when he came to Milan, everyone was saying, "Oh, this guy is
new Balotelli."
Yeah, new Balotelli. He doesn't concentrate.
The French national team is on off-pitch antics, very very strict. If you remember, like Anelka, players like that, they don't, people like Valbuena. Valbuena was a victim, and yet he was stopping. They stopped calling him up. Anyway, talking about the game as well. Again, what I want to say is that I found incredible about Milan now is the spirit of his team. This team, as Emanuele said today in the commentary box, never dies. This team never really dies on that pitch. That this team always keeps on fighting, and this team never gives up. And honestly, as I said again, if Lazio had missing the players Milan in terms of importance, we saw it when Milinkovic and Immobile came off. If they had those players missing, I think it would have been an absolute. Milan could have gone on to steamroll them, or any team could have. Milan is, in terms of spirit, I'm proud. I'm proud of this team. And I'm really finding a joy in watching it. And today at the stadium, Emanuele was nearly in tears. I think he was in tears on the Hernandez goal. I was one of the, I think it might have been, it might have been the best time I ever had at the stadium. That last minute goal was incredible. Seeing at the end, I don't know if everyone saw this in TV. Amy, I don't know if you saw it. I think I told Luca before. At the end of the game, the whole AC Milan team rounded up in the middle of the pitch, even though it was raining, by the way, had a little cheer off, had a little sing off. And then they went to the curva, and then they did what's it called, like a ole. What do you guys think about the game?
No, I do agree with the whole spirit thing, but I'd like to give a small critique that while I'm very happy with the performances, I don't think we ever kill the game off early. I think today when we were up 2-0 and also 2-1, Lazio was pushing really hard, and we could have scored a few goals just to end it. Like, sometimes we'll be counterattacking 4 versus 2, and it feels like everyone just kind of falls asleep. There was that one chance that Leao had that he shot the ball at Theo that we could have easily scored. It was like 4 versus 2, 4 versus 3. But we never have that killer instinct to just go 3-1 up, put the game to bed.
I think that's a similar problem to what we have. Like, even if you see our game, at the last few minutes we had like 8 different chances right in front of goal.
Yeah.
Did we lose Amy?
Yeah, I think we lost Amy. Yeah, the Inter game. I think I watched especially the start of it. It was a very 50-50 game where I think some players from Verona really. Not all of them. It was very weird because I think some players of Verona were outclassing the Inter players, but some Inter players were outclassing Verona. And I think that, as you said before, Luca, those two strike partnership up top is incredible. Amy, what do you think? What do you think about the game, and what do you think about the strike partnership? Amy, can you hear us? Okay.
Well, I'll answer for him, I guess. Lukaku. He could have scored an incredible goal today that he ran down the side. Okay, he's back.
I think he's back. What's up? Tell us about the game.
I just want to say quickly, linking to the Milan game, we have a very similar problem to what Luca said. Like, at the end of the game, you saw we had 3 or 4 different chances to score the third goal, and we just couldn't finish. Lukaku, obviously, he's ridiculous. He just takes 2-3 defenders at the same time, and they can't stop him. That's why, in my opinion, he was a man of the match game.
The ability he has to just
I think there was no doubt. I've never seen someone dominate defenders that way in recent time, of course, because like you can tactically dominate them, but he physically destroys them. He just takes the ball and that's it. I'm gonna go towards the goal, and he does, and no one can stop him.
I'd like to remind everyone that against Verona, they put the same player that was marking Romelu today, and Ibra for the first, I think, 60 minutes did not get the ball once with his head, and Lukaku still managed to really play his game when I think it was Magnani was onto him. Luca, you're about to say something?
I was also going to say, towards the end of the game, you can really see Hakimi has those Theo-like moments, or we could even say Theo has the Hakimi-like moments, where they just become 100-meter sprinters. And Hakimi today, towards the end, he had that one chance that he gave it to Lukaku in the middle, who scored, but then it got disallowed. And I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Lovato trying to keep up with him, but there was just no chance.
Yeah.
No chance in hell.
He burned past him. It was incredible.
I think in Serie A we're blessed with some incredible during the years about fullbacks, and I think we're blessed to have these two players in Milan. So, I have a question for you, Amy. Does this convince you more about Inter? Does this solidify your opinion on them, or it's just I still got to see? What message does this game give to you right now, as an Inter fan?
I think we're now on a 7-game win streak, which is really good. Like picking up from the disappointment from Champions League. I think everyone's not to sound too aggressive, but everyone's sleeping on us a bit because of the Milan story. Even on the internet, I always read like Milan this, Milan that. We're only 1 point behind, realistically. Like it's still very, very open up the top.
And until the 93rd minute, you guys were on top. Until the 93rd minute today, you guys would have been on top.
I think personally, while the reason that you guys are being slept on in quotation marks is that no one expected Milan to be up there, right? Everyone thought Milan was going to be fifth place, fourth place, fighting for that position, but we expected Inter to be up there. So it makes sense. Milan gets more media attention, but I don't think anyone's not taking Inter seriously. I think everyone knows you guys are a real threat.
I think we still have that sour taste of the Champions League. I think if we continue this way, we can really eliminate it. But for the time being is still in our memories, very close memories.
Yeah. When you think about Conte's play style in general, do you think it's really that more suited to the league just because you can play with less risk? I mean, if you go all out and you lose a game, you can make up the points. While in Champions League, it doesn't work like that. Because I don't know, it just seems that the team's so much more confident in the league rather than in Europe.
Yeah, that's just Conte since the beginning, let's say.
Yeah, that's
He's always been a league merchant.
He brought the Juve mentality that, where they lose in Europe. But, speaking of, I think it's time to move on to the greatest meme game of the day. Juventus against Fiorentina. I think, third happiest moment of my life. We're up there.
Okay, that's sad.
Yeah, I know. But still. You know what it is? Okay, first of all, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Did you guys think the two penalties were not given, or do you think there was no such thing as a penalty on both? What do you guys think?
First one was a penalty. Second one, what was the second one again?
For second one was the one on Bernardeschi from Dragos.
No, okay, second one wasn't a penalty. I don't think that was a penalty. And also, the other debate was the second yellow card for Borja Valero, right?
Yeah.
I think it could have gone either way. You could have given the second yellow. You could have not given the second yellow.
What do you think, Amy?
I think I agree with the penalty opinion on with Luca. I think the first one was 100% a penalty. You can't push your opponent from the back like that. And the second one was a slight mistake from Dagrowski, which caused a bit of a confusion. So I don't think that was a penalty. And for the second yellow, I think everyone in the stadium, let's say, was really angry because of Quadrato's red card. But I think that wasn't the right moment. I don't know if it was. If he would have had another foul, yes, of course. But I don't think that was enough for a second yellow.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad foul. It wasn't, he just kind of stopped the play. On the other hand, Quadrato's red card was just a clear red card. I saw a lot of Juventus fans complaining, not about the decision itself, but about previous situations where red cards weren't given. I think Deron went in Atalanta, Juve, where actually Quadrato got fouled, and also a foul in Torino, in Juve Torino. So I don't really get the comparison because it's a clear foul from Quadrato. Yes, maybe there should have been a red card for those other situations.
So dangerous.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
Deron was definitely a red. I think he even admitted it himself that it was a red.
Yeah.
But you can't really compare. I don't think.
But still, guys, this is the thing as well. I don't know if this game. Okay, let's put it this way. Fiorentina played a really good game. Fiorentina played a really solid game. They took the chances when they could, but there was a certain point where Juve literally just died. Bonucci had, I think, one of the worst games I've ever seen him play, apart from some of the ones he played with Milan, which were absolutely terrible. But Bonucci was trash. The team as a whole, Morata really didn't get into the game. Ronaldo looked like he was playing alone on the pitch. Bentancur was
Ronaldo
solid.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he was stuck because it was a lot of times he just went for the personal solution because there was no one to give it to. Chiesa had a very up and down game where sometimes he was really good, sometimes he wasn't. McKennie was trying at least, but De Ligt had a okayish game. Szczesny did one good save, but in general, this game, I think Fiorentina were good, but I think it's more Juve that lost it than Fiorentina winning it.
I agree with that. I think this is the type of game that shows you how brutal football is, because, well, now we're seeing a 3-0 from Fiorentina, complete scandal for Juve. But think if Quadrado hadn't been stupid and had kept his leg down in that tackle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he gets a yellow card. Yeah, maybe he gets a yellow card. Fiorentina still scored their first, but I am confident that Juventus scores 2, scores 3, and they win the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those episodes where if it had gone the other way, then you would have been a good win for Juve, no worries. And instead, since Quadrado was stupid, since he got the red card, Juve goes on to lose 3-0. Of course, there's other reasons for the loss. It's not just Quadrado. Then the team could have still reacted in a better way. But, it's definitely caused by that one incident to some extent.
I think you always get maybe a couple of these games a year where everything goes wrong. So yeah, I don't think Juve needs to be worried about this.
Really, you
no
don't
more
think?
worried than they.
Yeah, no more worried than they were before. It's not like...
Yeah, exactly.
I think it also came at a perfect moment because now they got all that time to rest on it and really reflect on it. I don't think Juve is, at least, I don't know about this Juve, but I don't think Juve in general is one of those teams that when they lose and they have a lot of time, more than thinking about it and really getting to work on it and bounce back, they're not one of those teams that are where it's gonna brew inside them and they're gonna get worse and start a crisis.
Yeah, I guess it's just that... Yeah, go ahead, Amy.
No, you go. It's another thing.
No, I just wanted to say, while it doesn't really change our opinion on Juve, I think, you never know how it kind of impact the team's actual attitude. Because maybe it's not a big deal for us, but, maybe the defeat really hit them hard and then we see them demoralized in the next games. Oh, we'll have to see that.
I think Juve needs a motivator, as a coach. I think Pirlo doesn't have the balls to actually be motivating as a character.
I'll let Amy give his opinion from before, and then I'll respond to that.
I just wanted to say quickly about the Napoli-Juve situation. I think the way it was released, the moment in which it was released, it was really bad. I think it was 3-4 hours before the game. Oh, you're losing 3 points. A player can't play. You're going to have to replay the game. I think it really messes with your head in that moment.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't know what the actual rules are for that, if it has to be announced right away, but probably it would have been much better timing to announce it tomorrow when everyone has a week to kind of sleep on it, even more than a week, 10 days before the next round of Serie A. But then again, I don't know the technicalities of how the announcement has to be made. So, yeah.
Right. What about what I said? Do you have an opinion of that? That I think Juve needs a motivator
I honestly don't agree with that. I don't think a team like Juve needs a motivator because the motivation comes from the world-class players. When you have Ronaldo, Chiellini... Okay. No, but you have these world-class players. It's kind of the Zidane situation in Madrid. No, it's kind of comparable. Zidane didn't need to motivate anyone. He needs to be there and manage the world-class stars. I don't think you need a Gattuso for Juve. Gattuso is a motivator who gets the best out of mediocre players or can really build up young players and get them to perform.
So someone like Simeone, do you reckon he would do badly at Juve, or he would
never go though?
He wouldn't excel. No, but let's say that type of manager, would he not excel though?
Of course he would. I think Simeone is a top 10 manager in the world. I think he would do well in almost every single club he goes to.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't even just classify, Simeone is just a motivator. Simeone is so much more than that. Simeone is he's a world-class manager. He gets paid 40 million a year. while most of the footballing world doesn't like his tactics, they are incredible tactics because.
Yep.
I actually love them. I
like them as well. But the common opinion is that it's anti-football, even though he wins. Well, he doesn't win titles, but he wins games.
All right. Should we move on? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Something really quickly. I think Juve just needs an actual manager. Like not even to motivate or anything. Just like an actual manager who's managed before.
Like Sarri.
Yeah. No, not like Sarri.
No. But Pochettino could do well at Juve?
Yeah, Pochettino could do very well.
All right, shall we actually move on now to our little segment called the Team of the Week, boysinos. All right, chat, I want you to get involved. I know it's not that many, and I know it's kind of late, but let's do this. Okay, I'm going to stop share screening, and I'm going to start share screening the Chrome tab with this. Okay, here we are. So, goalkeeper, I'm going to nominate the man himself. I know he conceded 2 tonight, but Donnarumma, if he was about to come off injured and he saved the penalty and he had, as a leader, I'm telling you, the amount of screaming Donnarumma does during the game is incredible. I think we have Hollow saying as well. I think Gigi, what do you guys think?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's just him.
No doubt.
Donnarumma, I want to give a special mention to Montipo for Benevento, not for the Team of the Week, but for keeping a lot of clean sheets for a
2 clean sheets in a row.
Team. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And honestly, I didn't know him well as a player before he came to Serie A, but I saw last game week against Genoa, he had a couple really nice saves. Yeah, he's a good keeper.
Luis Ochone here is saying that Cordat saved, I think he means Crotone. Yep, Cordat also is a good, he should get the nomination for the second in line. Montipo, Cordat's probably, and then Donnarumma. All right, we're playing for the back. I think the first player that has to go in there is a certain player who is not liked by Didier Deschamps. His name is Theo. His surname is Fernandes. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Theo definitely deserves the spot.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, I could have built him a statue today after that goal. I was overjoyed. He's incredible.
The next player who should go in there, I think you mentioned the clean sheet today for Benevento. It's got to be Kamil Glik. Kamil Glik had a really solid game. If you watch on the fancy football sites, they give him a 7. He had a clean game, as always. He's been having quite a few good games. I think he should get a call up. What do you guys think?
I want to nominate 2 guys.
Sorry, let's hear from Amy first. No, Amy, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to nominate 2 guys. I think Skriniar and Hakimi. Skriniar for the goal, really good defending, and Hakimi for the crazy pace in the second half. Yeah, but of course, it's just my opinion.
All right, let's change the formation.
I agree with Amy. I don't agree with Skriniar just because he had a tiny little fault on the goal. It was mostly Andanovic, but just a little bit of a fault. I'll give it to him. But I definitely want Hakimi in there.
All right, let's get Hakimi in there because I think it's a very, very big agreement. So, should we get Glik in there as well, guys?
Yeah, we can get Glik, and then as the third defender, I wanted to nominate Izzo.
Izzo? Yeah. I think Izzo should go in there because also he's a very big Napoli fan, and scoring away at the San Paolo is not easy. Izzo's going in there.
And by the way, the report says for Benevento, Letizia, not Kamil. Letizia did score, but I think Glik defensively was much better.
Yeah, he was impeccable today. Okay, well then talk about the midfield. I think, please guys nominate obviously, but I think the first one I'm going to nominate from what I saw with my own 2 eyes, it's got to be Luis Alberto. Luis Alberto, the goal maybe might have been a fluke, but the guy is incredible. I think the guy is just honestly incredible. I think it's between, I'm going to nominate 2, him and Amrabat. What do you guys think?
I'm undecided for Lazio whether I should give it to Milinkovic or Luis, because Luis was really great.
Yeah, same.
Milinkovic created the goal and was much more dangerous overall. I don't know. Maybe we'll give this one up to the chat. If you have to choose between the 2 Lazio midfielders, Luis Alberto or Milinkovic-Savic. Who would
Right,
you
let's
put in?
move on then. Who will we put as the other two midfielders? I think I want to nominate Amrabat for sure.
Yeah, Amrabat had an incredible game.
Amrabat
I
had an
agree.
incredible game.
I agree.
Right, chat. Are we putting Milinkovic or are we putting Luis Alberto?
Okay, we have one vote for Milinkovic from Ron.
Oh, it's
and we
one
have,
of-
okay, stalemate. Wait, what are our votes, by the way? Arda votes Luis, I vote Milinkovic. And Amy,
I
you vote
vote
Milinkovic as well, right?
Andrea Coppa 02 has said
Yeah.
Luis as well. I think.
Okay, so we're still tied. Let's say next
Are
vote, decide.
We can put them both.
Next vote. Ah! Anyway,
Whoever comes in.
whoever.
Bye-bye. In the meantime, I'll say I think third midfielder has to be Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, Çalhanoğlu was. I think the Milan game in general is now so reliant, especially in attack, on Çalhan. And he has. I think Luca was talking about it before the actual stream. That pass where Luigi Di Maio, Scott says, that pass by Çalhanoğlu where the ball was up here and he just went with that backspin and he just gave an incredible through ball. That was really good.
Oh yeah,
Right, we're still
that
waiting.
was so nice.
Luis Alberto. We got a final vote from Luis Ochone.
Okay, well then midfield is complete.
Okay, Luis Alberico. All right, now who do we? Oh, boys, my eye is really itching. I'm sorry.
Please swap Amrabat and Luis Alberto because
It does it bother you? I feel something like that would have come.
Yeah.
Sofiane? No, that's not how you spell it.
if we put them in their real positions.
Right. The
More or
first player I am nominating, and I know my good friend Ron will be ecstatic for the attack, is a certain guy called Caprari. I think he scored and he got an assist today. I think he should be up there. What's up?
I didn't see Benevento, but before putting anyone, let's think of all the potential nominees.
Caputo got an assist and a goal. I think he should be up there, and he just
Okay.
came back from an injury.
Okay, I think Nzola also has a mention just because of the form he's on. He scored
We
in.
put him last week, though. I'd rather put Vlahovic because I think Vlahovic is now 3
To
games in a row.
nominate.
Scored. I think
Yeah.
Vlahovic more than Nzola this
Amy,
week.
we didn't hear you there. What did you say? Yeah, I think Amy's lagging.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to nominate
let-
actually Rebic. I think he's
Yeah, Rebic.
sorry. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hear you
Rebic.
perfectly.
Rebic
hear you.
and Lukaku. Lukaku didn't score, but he was ridiculous. So I wanted to nominate him.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
guys.
think-
Also, we have a very clear nominee in the chat, which is Messias. Messias was
Messias.
incredible.
Messias has to be there.
I think that's a lock. And also, Muriel was the only other guy who got a brace. But,
Over
yeah,
one was a penalty, though.
one was a penalty. Also, João Pedro got a brace actually, but I wouldn't put him up there just because they lost.
I think Caputo should be there. And then I think Muriel should be there as well, maybe. Although they didn't win as well. I think Caputo should be there for sure. I would like to put Caprari as well, but maybe that's just me. That
Okay,
between
we're getting
yeah.
a lot of votes for Caprari.
well, yeah, we're getting it. Okay, everyone, it's between Muriel and Caprari. Let's get a vote in. Muriel or Caprari?
I'd give it
Louis,
between Muriel and Caputo rather than Muriel and Caprari.
I'm
to be honest.
voting Muriel.
really? Okay, so let's put Caprari then, and then it's between, you said, Muriel and Caputo.
Yeah, I'd say so. And then, yeah, I agree with what Amy was saying. I'd give a special mention to Lukaku because he did really have an incredible game. But we can definitely save him for another Team of the Week. I'm sure he'll be nominated for a lot more.
All right, well, there we have it. The Catenaccio Podcast Team of the Week for this Matchday 14 is in. We got Donnarumma in goal, Hernandez, Itzo, Glick, and Hakimi at the back. Amrabat, Çalhanoğlu, Alberto. Whoa, why did I say it that way? Luis Alberto. I said like a Turk. Caprari at right wing, Messias at left wing, Muriel. Bro, look at that. That attack is actually very tasty. That midfield is even tastier. That defense is pretty good. Bro, this could actually be quite a solid team. What do you guys think? This could actually play quite
The
well.
attack likes it down.
You think
Yeah.
so?
I think the fullbacks will be the top scorers at the end of the season.
Probably so, yeah. Probably. All right, well, actually, we have to move on again to, I think, what is the most fun part of the podcast, apart from when we actually shut it down and don't go and I think people love that too. But the next part of the podcast is the predictions. So, this is for another time. The predictions, as we said last time, and as we say every week, we have to predict the result. And if you get it right, the exact score right, you get 3 points. If you get, let's say, the result, as in like who's going to win right or who's going to draw, well, who's going to win right, you get only 1 point because you got the score wrong. And if you get none of these right, you get 0 points. We also record what the chat says, so do not shy away from getting your votes in or your predictions in. Let's look at what we put last week. Predictions from game week 14. What an absolute stinker I have had. Okay, so Ron was in
if you want to
there.
move on directly to the results.
Yeah, what a stinker.
exactly.
Look at what a stinker I've had. Well, then we're going to go on to see what else you guys got. I got 2 semi-right. I got the correct winners for only 2. I think the guy who had an absolutely amazing one is the boy himself, Luca Hoffmeister, who got...
You should have put some money on it. You should have bet on those games.
You gambling addict. And then Ron got 3 winners right. Jonathan had a stinker just like I did. Emiliana had a semi-good game week review. So, as it stands, I've got 9 points. Jonathan has 10. Emiliana has 17. Jeez Louise! And Luca has 14.
Yes,
so right now, Emiliano will be winning it. I would be dead last, but with Jonathan is very close to me. So, this brings us to the next part. Chat, get those little buttons clicking. Ali is a seer. What the hell? How dare you? Because I allow chat to basically tell my results, so don't hate on me. All right, let's get on to this. What are we saying for the next games? Luca, Inter against Crotone. What do you think?
3-0.
3-0. What do you think? Oh, well, Johnny is not here. Let's dedicate this to chat. Okay? Screw Johnny for not being here. Just kidding. All right, chat. What are we saying about Inter Crotone? I see a 3-0 as well from Hollow. Anyone else want to say anything? Amy, we'll move on to you while we wait for anyone else to say something. What do you think?
I agree with the 3-0.
3-0.
Although I think we might concede one, which I'm not too sure about that one.
All right, Louise is saying 4-0. Vaparge is saying 3-1. Coppa is saying 4-0. Let's make them all happy and go for a 4-1.
No.
4 against 1. I think this will be a high-scoring game as well. I'm going to go for 4-2. All right, Atalanta against Sassuolo. This could be Gas 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, it's saying 3-1. What a name.
2-8.
Scott is saying plus a red card as well. Look at all these predictions. Okay, Atalanta against Sassuolo. This could be the most interesting game of the weekend. What are we saying? Luca?
I think it's one of those games where you expect a lot of goals, but we won't get them. I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1 to Atalanta.
Decent amount of goals, but not a goal fest.
What are you saying, Amy?
I'm actually going to go 3-2 for Atalanta.
3-2 for Atalanta. Okay. Jeez, that's a lot of high-scoring games. Okay, so chat is saying 3-0, 2-3, 3-0. Oh, yeah, that's him repeating himself. 2-4 for Porridge. And then Gasp is saying 2-1. All right, chat. I think I'm going to say mine first, and then let's see what you guys think. I think Sassuolo is going to win this. I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Sassuolo. Gasp is correcting himself, and he is... Oh, no, he's not. Sorry. He's saying that it's going to be a 2-1 as well. I agree with... Oh, no, I don't. Sorry, because you're saying that Atalanta will win. I'm going to put down... What should we put down of our results, guys?
For chat, we have we have 2 people saying Sassuolo win.
Yep.
And we have 2 people saying Atalanta win.
Should we put it as a draw?
Put it as a draw.
We'll put it as a draw, but I'll write down that.
Yeah, write down the names as well. And next time we will give you a little shout out. But let's put it as a 2-2 draw for now. Even it out.
So the Porridge is saying 2-3, and we have Gasp with 2-1. Luiz with an astounding 3-0.
All right. Cagliari against Napoli. Amy, what do you think?
This is going to be a difficult one.
By the way, sorry.
I can see them. I'm going to go with the...
Gasp is saying that Atalanta would destroy Sassuolo. Come on. I don't know why, but this guy's name being Gasp12344 could be an indication that he likes Gasperini. I don't want to be that guy, but I got this under. Luis John asking, are you Gasperini?
Are you good? Do we have Gasperini in our
Do
chat?
we have Gasperini on the Catenaccio Podcast today in the chat? Sorry.
What happened with Papu? What happened with Papu?
The exclusive of the Catenaccio Podcast.
Yeah, we want to know.
Cagliari Napoli, what do you think?
I'm going 1-2.
1-2. Okay, Luca, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with
you. You agree with him? You think okay?
Yeah, 1-2.
1 and 2. I think they're gonna tie 1-1 again.
By the way, we have a new member in the chat who is very convinced that Roma will win the Scudetto.
Roma with Scudetto. Nice. Cagliari 1-0 from Luis Occione. And then the part says 1-2. I think it's because it's more original. Let's go for Luis Occione. Can you write down, please, Luca, that the part said 1-2?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Fiorentina against Bologna. What are we saying? Luca.
Fiorentina against Bologna. I think Fiorentina is going to win again after this major confidence boost. And they are going to win 2-0. Bologna won't score.
I completely agree with that before we go on. Amy, what do you think?
I think we're going to see the old Fiorentina back. I'm putting 1-1.
1-1. Hollow is agreeing with you and saying 1-1. But I think chat, Luis Occione is saying Fiorentina 4-1 and Mihailovic sacked. We got a part saying 0-0 and we got Gasp saying 1-0. I think because no one has written it yet, I think should we leave it 0-0?
Should we leave it 0-0?
Or should we put the 1-0 by Gasp?
Everyone's saying low scoring games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are saying ties. We have more ties.
Right. Remember to
I'm writing down everyone's scores anyway, so
so tune in next week. Oh, well, not next week, but next game day, and you will see whether you won or not, and we'll put a little mention for you. Okay, moving on to Genoa against Lazio. What do you think, Luca?
1-2.
1-2. Amy, what do you think? Are you going to surprise us?
I really like that scoreline, huh?
I think 1-3. I think Lazio needs to come back with a decent victory.
Yeah, they drew to Benevento, lost to us. Okay, Genoa Lazio. Ron is saying 0-4. Then we got Luis Occione saying 2-1 to Genoa. I'll get Luis Occione's score because I agree as well. I think Genoa is going to win this one 2-1. But Porge is saying 1-2. Gasp is saying 1-3. I think Gasp didn't get his score put on in a while, so I think 1-3 for Genoa will be written down. Sorry, for Lazio will be written down. Gasp, we got yours on. Okay, moving on. So Parma against Torino. What are we saying, Luca?
I think Torino has to finally win after such a big result against Napoli. So I'm going to keep predicting a Torino win. I'm going to say...
Eventually you might get it. Well, against... I think Torino...
Eventually we'll get it.
Guys, let's
1-0 Torino. Boring-ass game, 1-0
Parma
Torino.
Torino is going to be the most, I think, boring game of the century.
Exactly.
Might be up there.
So
what are you saying?
1-0 Torino, and I see Gasp agrees with me.
Gasp agrees with you. Parma, tripletta Cornelius. Luis Occione clearly does drugs. Leparge is saying 2-2. What are you saying, Amy?
I'm going 1-0 to Parma. I don't think Toro has it.
I'm going to leave a 0-0. Chat, what are we saying? Gasp is saying 0-1. Torino winning. Yeah, I think the consensus in some way is that by just a tiny majority is that Torino will win. I think Hollow didn't get a mention, so I think, oh crap, what's going on? Sorry. I had my finger on the keyboard and I didn't let go, and I was like, what's going on? What an absolute tit. Okay,
Nice
I'm going to put a 2-1 by good old Hollow because he didn't get in for a while. Okay, Roma Sampdoria. Ranieri, remember? What do you guys think?
I think Roma wins. No, actually, but Sampdoria is good against big teams. Come back to me on this one. I want to hear everyone else first.
Did Ali just have a stroke? I
think so.
I had my finger on the keyboard because it's a really light like gaming keyboard. And I was just like, bro, why is it writing so much? I was like, bro, I thought maybe one of these two other guys was like editing, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? Sorry, I'll come back to you. Sorry, Luca. Amy, what are you saying? I think. Wait, we got Gasp saying Roma 2, Samp 1. What are you saying, Amy?
I agree with that. 2-1 to Roma.
Okay, I'm gonna surprise all of you, and I'm gonna say 2-2 all. And yeah, because Ranieri is a surprise. Chat, what are we saying? 4-0, the porridge says. 3-all. Roma Samp 2-1. We already put yours, Gasp, as Amy's, so Luca's obviously writing them down. I'll remind you. Let's put the porridges because it's the most original one. 4-0. Luca, what are you saying?
Everyone's saying a high-scoring game. I'm gonna trust Ron. Say 3-1. 3-1 Roma.
3-1 for Magica. Okay, Spezia against Verona could be a very interesting game. What are we saying, Amy?
I think Hellas needs to win.
You think Hellas need to win? So what do you think the score is going to be?
Yeah, so I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. What do you say, Luca?
Yes.
Hellas. I'll say 1-0 Hellas.
1-0 for Hellas. I see Luis Ochone with a meme about Spal. I actually agree with Gasp. I think it's going to be a 1-0 draw. So I'm going to put that down as mine as well. And then we got the part saying 2-1. I think that is not too far off a sane prediction. I think Spezia is going to score as well. Suleimani Sinti. Nice. 1-1 is a little bit crazy. Nah, gasp. Remember what we did against Atalanta at home? I don't think it's anything too crazy, honestly. And honestly, if Hellas don't get Salcedo, I don't think it's good enough. And if Kalinic or Di Carmine are not back, or Faville is not back, I don't see them doing that well. All right, Benevento against Milan. I'm already going to predict this. Lapadula is going to score.
No.
All right, what is your prediction, man? No.
I refuse to accept that. I still haven't predicted.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I haven't predicted. If he scores, I'm retiring from life.
Destro scored 2 against us.
No, but if Lapadula scores, I retire from everything. If he scores, life.
I'll drop out of the uni straight away.
Yeah.
What's up?
We'll go to Serie B right away.
Okay, fair enough. So,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Olo is saying 2-1 to Benevento. Well, what an absolute clown. Okay, that's the most original one. But Hoff, what were you saying? What's your prediction?
No, I think I need to predict a Milan win 3-1. No, actually, we keep a clean sheet. 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. What are you saying, Amy?
I'm going 4-0 for Milan.
4-0. Oh, again, I had a stroke. Jesus Christ. I am so dumb.
4-0.
Oh, 4-0. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes.
Look, sorry, I was just reading this comment. Monty Brogo loading. I had a bit of a PTSD moment from Brignoli.
And also, by the way, we have the porridge with a very bold 0-30 prediction.
Okay, sorry. Hollow is correcting himself and saying 1-2. I was about to say, Hollow, that was very bold of you as well. I think we're just going to win 1-0.
Oh, the porridge. I'm gonna write down 0-30, yeah?
Juve against Udinese, what are we saying, Amy?
3-1 to Juve.
3-1 to Juventus.
Actually,
what are you saying?
Make it 4-1. 4-1.
4-1, jeez. What are you saying, Luca?
No, to Juve.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I put that there. Juve Udinese, Gasper saying 2-1. Man, Holland
at home, I would have maybe gone for a lower scoring game, but I think Juve is just going to try to have a show of power, like 4-0. But Ronaldo's going to score maybe even a hat trick or something.
I like this prediction of
Which order go with Udinese they win?
No, to be fair, bro, I remember what they did against Lazio, and that kind of inspires me. But Juve doesn't lose twice at home. Oh my god, again. Okay, I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna agree with Porridge. Oh, Porridge, sorry, I'm gonna agree with Gasp. Okay, that's our predictions for the day. We have got chat as well included this time.
Yeah.
So join
In my
here.
Also, with my beautiful handwriting, I have everyone's predictions here.
Yep. And then we got good old Luca with the predictions there. I'll stop share screening. Luca, show us the handbook again so everyone can see.
I don't know if you guys will be able to read it. It's also in pencil. But
No, but just to confirm that you actually have written them down. All right, boys, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever you are who is actually watching this, it's time to close off and get our closing remarks off. Sorry, I'm just getting our little last slide up. We have been the Catenaccio Podcast. It has been Matchday 14, I think. Yep. And I am extremely tired. I have been to the stadium. I had, I think I had the best experience I've ever had of a stadium, watching Milan win in the last second. Sorry, I just want to just notice this. Luisa trying to write, did your dog just write that? Good night from a Porridge.
Luis Ochona wrote it without glasses.
I want to bid farewell to everyone. Before I get the panel to say goodnight to all of you, we'd like to thank again Radio Rossonera for allowing us to use this channel of theirs and use this platform. And thank you for personally for sending me to the stadium today. It was an absolute pleasure. So let us sign off. Luca, give us a good old wave.
Thanks everyone for coming. Hopefully we see you all next week or in 10 days or whatever, and have a good Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate.
Emiliano, directly from Mexico.
Yep. Thank you very much for watching. Hope we see you soon. Yeah, have a nice Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yep. I'd like to personally say that when it comes to Catenaccio Podcast, you should be expecting us every Monday at 10:15 Italian time. We will confirm that soon on Twitch and on the Radio Rossonera channels. I'm going to sign off as well. I've been your host for today, Alessandro Arda Oriani. Thank you for all of you who've been watching. It is quite late. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you, guys.